Richie Heeley in the Heeley Motors Escort. Is this your first time being seated number one in a major event?
It is indeed, yes.
Do you consider it an advantage or disadvantage to be first car on the road?
I don't mind. I think it might be a little bit of a disadvantage not being able to know what's really going on behind.
And what are going to be your tactics, flat out from the word go?
No, I think I'll pace myself today because it's 2 good days of rallying, and I think it'd be very foolish to try too hard too early.
Thanks, Richie.
Thank you.
Local hero, Frank Mahony. How does it feel to be back in the Chevette?
Well, I'm happy to be back in it. We haven't driven it for quite a while. The last time was up in down in Kerry, and that's nearly 12 months ago. So we're just settling into it now again, you know.
Has any alterations been carried out in the car since then?
Well, it's a different car altogether. It's a different shell, and it's a new engine, 2.6 engine. So she's a bit more torque than the last one. We've taken off the fuel injection, which was giving us a lot of trouble. So we're hoping now that she'll be more reliable with this setup.
And will it be a case of flat out from stage one?
Well, I don't know. I suppose we'll have to go as quick as we can from stage one. Obviously, there's an awful lot of quick cars around us, so I think probably the first 10 cars are going to be very quick from the line, so we'll have to go with them and hope for the best.
Best of luck to you, Frank. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mal Stewart from Wales, you're the leading overseas entry. What are going to be your tactics over the weekend?
We're certainly going to sit back for this event because we haven't come here to win the event. We're trying to stay in front on the championship. Bob is probably the one that's going to take the lead in the Motor News Championship, we think, anyhow. But we'll just sit back and see what happens. No point in rushing. It's 2 days.
You've been over here in 81 and last year. How did you find the stages in West Cork on those occasions?
I like the stages over here. We've been here a good few years now. But certainly last year we were Lyon 4th overall and we went off on a bumpy section. We had the wrong tyres. But the stages this year, even though they're the same, they seem to be bumpier and a lot more gravel on the roads. So just sit back.
We wish you every good luck, Mal. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Richie Heeley leads the rally away, seated at number 1, followed by Frank Mahony in the number 2 spot. Mal Stewart going well, and 4th seed, James Doherty, retired on this stage. Ken McKinstry's gone through, followed by Bob Fowden with the big Rover. Joe McHale now with the Chevette, followed by the man who would be the early leader, Tony Keating. Mark Reynolds next with the Ascona, followed by Bertie Law in the Chevette, Mike Patterson, Ian Donaldson, and AJ Keating overdoes it. The Zanussi West Cork Rally, held over the St. Patrick's holiday weekend, drew a very large entry. The promoters, the Cork Motor Club, now run the biggest rally in these islands with the emphasis on club and drivers. For the first time, the rally for this year would be a counting round in the Castrol Motoring News Championship. The first round was held in Wales and Bob Fowden was the winner in his Group A Rover. The 8th running of the West Cork Rally was an exciting occasion for the hundreds of rally followers who converged on the Clonakilty area. And for Ashmark Limited, the distributors of Zanussi products in Ireland, 1984 marked their 4th consecutive sponsorship year. Alan Fraser, in the Sunbeam, goes through the Castlefleet stage. He's followed by John Price in a Renault 5 Turbo, one of 2 in the rally today, both of which he owns. He's followed by number 15, and that's Ron Neely with the little Mini. Hugh O'Brien going well with the Escort. And Theo Bengry from the UK with the big Ascona, really chucking it about and enjoying himself. AJ Keating has geared himself in well, and he is followed by the ex-Jimmy McRae Chevette of Cyril Bolton. Here's Mark Lovell in John Price's second car. Pat Murphy now in the famous black Chevette that caused so much excitement last year in the hands of Demi Fitzgerald. He is followed by Sean Delaney, who in turn is followed closely by Liam McGrath. On stage 3 at Tregumna Beach, Declan Croke had his own way of doing things. Richie Heeley had some problems early on in the rally, but was quickly overcoming them. Mal Stewart going nicely in the Sunbeam. He's followed by Frank O'Mahony. And Kenny McKinstry going nicely in his Escort. He's followed by Joe McHale. And in turn, Mark Reynolds. That's Bertie Law and Alan Fraser.
Joe McHale, what is your first taste of West Cork rallying being like?
Well, the first taste is I'm well off the pace at the moment, anyway. I think the lads seem to be flying. And I'm trying, like, because I came down here to do, they came down with the intention of winning the event, like, so I'm doing the best I can, so the lads are going off quick.
Mark Reynolds, how has it been for you over these first 5 stages?
Difficult, very difficult. It's very fast, and I don't think we've really settled in very well yet, but hopefully now over the next 5 we'll maybe get it together. We've had a few braking problems, but nothing really major. It's just sort of a bit unsettling to begin with, But hopefully over the next 5 now we'll get it together.
Jack Lyons, have you had any problems over these first 5 stages?
Well, on the last stage we broke a brake pipe on the caliper, and we lost about 1.5 minutes, but we were going all right up to that. We're taking our time, just see now how it goes after the next 5 stages, But that's the only problem we've had, But it's dropped us way down the field, but we'll try and make it back now in these next 5 stages.
AJ Keating, you were 3rd fastest in the first stage, but you had a slight problem on Rowley Bridge. What happened there?
Just slight driver error, trying too hard, just slipped forward. We did have problems in the 2nd stage, the bolt holding on the track control arm snapped, and we could have lost 20 to 30 seconds in stage 2. Otherwise, we're back on the road again. Car's handling better than it has done before, so we're making quicker times, obviously.
And stages 3, 4 and 5, were you happy with your times on those?
No, on stage 3 we lost 20 to 30 seconds with the track control arm. Stage 4 and 5 we're quite happy.
Okay, keep it up, AJ.
Thanks very much.
Tony Keating had been the initial rally leader, but he retired in stage 3. Then Frank O'Mahony's Chevette took over the lead before the first major service near Rosscarbery. But then Frank O'Mahony lost the lead on the 5th stage when tyre trouble lost him 1.5 minutes, dropping him to 7th overall. So the new leaders were Bob Fowden and Hugh Thomas with the Rover, and they were leading by 40 seconds from Richie Heeley and Vincent Meade in the Escort. They in turn were 11 seconds ahead of Ken McKinstry and Kevin Doyle with their Escort. Equal 4th were Mal Stewart with his co-driver Ken Rees and Hugh O'Brien with Clint McCullough. In 6th place, Martin Freestone and John Gittins with their Escort, and in 7th place now, Frank O'Mahony co-driven by Brian Curtin. In 8th place was Joe McHale with Brian Murphy, and equal 9th were John Price and Derek Davies, and Mark Lovell and Peter Davies. One retirement was Mark Reynolds, who went out with the Ascona after stage 7. Back out in the country now, Richie Heeley with the Escort. Followed by Mal Stewart. Bob Fowden now with the Rover. And Frank O'Mahony with the Chevette. Ken McKinstry keeping up the pressure. Joe McHale now. Theo Bengry really enjoying himself with the big Ascona. And Jack Lyons. Declan Croke was the starter Gumna, so we asked him what happened.
In Trigumna, I think, I don't know it happened so fast, but I think I came into it too fast. But I put on a new set of tires in Clonakilty, a new set of slicks, and they held me pretty well in Trig. But I came into it fast, and I was trying to take it in third, and when I was trying to swing her, it actually go sideways. But instead, she just took a spin, I don't know how many times, but it all happened too fast.
A new feature of the 1984 Zanussi West Cork Rally was the special stage through the town of Clonakilty. Bob Fowden celebrated his newly acquired lead, really throwing around the big Rover. Richie Heeley, as neat as always, using his experience from some years ago as a racing driver and really enjoying the thrash through Clonakilty. Franco Mahony must know these streets well. He was in third place and going quite happily now. Mal Stewart now with a little Sunbeam. He's followed by Joe McHale. Ken McKinstry now. And he's followed by Bertie Law. Alan Fraser. John Price. Hugh O'Brien now. And he's followed by Theo Bengrave, the ex-Jimmy McRae Escone. Now it's Cyril Bolton in another ex-Jimmy McRae car. He's followed by David Gould, whose co-driver John Sweeting is unwell, and Jack Lyon is going well with the Escort. Robinson now with the Chevette, followed by Martin Freestone. Mark Lovell now. Sean Delaney going nicely, as is Liam McGrath. Sam Hawkins having a good throw. James O'Mahony from County Limerick having a good drive, followed by Pat Kenny with the Homestead sponsorship. Martin Grandin now in his new car, followed by Timmy McCarthy and John McCarthy putting up a fabulous performance. Mike Patterson about to retire. Bernard O'Brien now. Another shot of James O'Mahony and also another one of Pat Kenny. And again we see Martin Grandin. At the end of the first day, Bob Fowden was the leader with the Group A Rover. Second was Richie Heeley, third Frank O'Mahony, fourth Ken McKinstry, fifth Hugh O'Brien, sixth Mark Lovell, seventh Mel Stewart, eighth Joe McHale, ninth Martin Freestone, and 10th place John Price.
Bob, just 25 seconds between yourself and Richie Heeley. Is it going to be a little bit too close for comfort?
Well, it's very close, obviously. Today we did, you know, we're going to have a go. We just have to see what happens. You know, it's obviously the pressure's on us. We're leading the rally. We're first car on the road, so we've got to control the rally from the front. So possibly we've got to go quicker than we did go yesterday. I think I can, but and still stay within the safety aspects.
Richie Heeley in second place at the moment, 25 seconds to bring back on Bob. Is it possible to do it, do you think?
Well, I'm going to try, but I wasn't making much of an impression on him yesterday. Over the last 5 stages, Bob was going very quick.
And today's stages are very dry. Do you think that's going to be a disadvantage with the Escort?
No, I don't think so. Frank O'Mahony is very close behind me as well, so I mean I have to keep him in mind, and I have Bob Fowden in front of me, so I mean I'm going to have a busy day, I reckon.
Nice talking to you, Richie. Thank you. Frank O'Mahony, you're at present holding down third position. What can you do to bring back that minute gap between yourself and Bob?
I don't know really. I think a minute is a lot, but when you consider the car Bob is driving, and he's going very well obviously, we'll just have to do our best. We'll be trying hard. Whether we'll succeed in taking back any time or not remains to be seen, but I think it'll be a very difficult job to do. And you know, Richie Heeley is another 36 seconds ahead of us, and he's going exceptionally well as well at the moment, and he's terribly quick, so I don't think we'll be able to take that time off, but we'll be trying hard.
I'm sure you will, Frank. Thank you.
Right, okay.
In fourth position at the moment, Ken, how has it been going for you so far?
Well, yesterday we had a very trouble-free day. In the morning time we started off running the car sort of in, as it were, you know, and the second look over the stages we started to set fair decent times, so well, we ended up in fourth, and well, it can't be that bad. I mean, if there's 3 very, very quick cars behind us and 4 very quick cars or 5 behind us, so it's a matter of, well, sort of trying to keep your position and, you know, and seeing how thing goes from that, you know.
And so we move on to Sunday, and what a good day it promised to be. But the overnight class leaders were Class 1, Martin Grandin was leading, a position he would not hold at the finish of the rally. Class 2, G. Leach. Class 3, Sam Hawkins. Class 4, Seamus Burke. Class 5, Hugh O'Brien. Class 6, Ron Beechcroft. Class 7, Harold Thompson, and Class 8, Mark Lovell. But there had been a few retirements from the day before. James Doherty, as we said earlier, retired on stage 1 with a blown engine. Tony Keating also retired on stage 3 with an engine problem. Mike Patterson had an accident, but he kept going till the end of Saturday's run, and then he retired. Ron Neely blew a piston in the Mini. Mark Reynolds retired the ex-Bertie Fisher Ascona when the engine threw a fan belt. And Ian Donaldson retired his Lotus Sunbeam when a conrod came through the side of the block. John Price motoring on well. He followed in turn by Bertie Law. James O'Mahony now, followed by Timmy McCarthy. It was just beyond this point that overnight leader Bob Fowden put the big Rover over a ditch. It took 9 minutes for him to get back on the road undamaged, and he continued, but Richie Heeley was now the firm leader of the Zanussi West Cork Rally.
Cyril Bolton, you were here last year in the TR7. How have you found the Chevette this year?
Yeah, well, I'm just getting used to the car at the moment. I've only done about 20 miles in it prior to the event, so we're getting embedded into it. I find it difficult to sort out the gearing because it's lower geared than the TR and we're not pulling the same speed, so I'm having a bit of difficulty, but enjoying myself. Good event.
Okay, thanks very much, Cyril. Hugh Toomey, I gather you had a very spectacular moment in Tregumna Beach yesterday. Could you tell us about it?
I could, I suppose, yeah. Well, we went through it. You know, I thought I was going slow, but just as we came out to the end of it, I just put down the boot, and instead of going straight up, I went straight into the wall, so it came to a quick stop. So.
But no major car damage?
The steering rack is bent, so my steering now is very heavy, but I think I'll try and manage it for the day. You know, hope for the best.
Sean Delaney, have you had any problems so far?
First and second stage we had problems yesterday morning, but since that we're starting to climb back up. We're quite happy.
And you're happy with your stage times?
Yeah, very happy. You know, we haven't been driving since September and took a while to get used to it again yesterday.
Okay.
Quite happy at the moment.
Keep up the good work, Sean.
Okay, yeah.
Alan Fraser, how has this Talbot Sunbeam Lotus be behaving itself in West Cork?
Behaving itself very well, no problems with it so far. We had a few problems with brakes early on in the event, but it's all sorted out now, so they pick up a few places today.
Hopefully you will, Alan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bertie Law, how are you going to play things today?
Oh, we'll just try and keep as much pressure on as we can. Unfortunately, I've still a bad flu on me, but it's all very close. There's about 6 cars within a minute, you know. So if we can try and catch a couple of seconds of stage, we could pull up a wee bit, you know.
John Price, what are going to be your tactics today?
I think probably the same as yesterday, just set a pace and keep on and keep out of trouble, I think, because it's all very close at the moment, and as you know, things can alter very, very quickly in this game.
I'm sure they can, John. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hugh O'Brien, you started seated at number 17. You're up to 5th position, and I think you're hoping to gain a few more places.
Well, hoping it's very close between Ken and Frank and Mahony and myself. I don't expect to be able to compete with Frank today, but possibly Ken and myself will have a go all day today.
Mike Dunnion, a regular competitor, had to spectate this time. But Richie Heeley's the new leader, and his tail is up. He's going well. Fowden second on the road, but well out of contention. This man is second overall, and it's Ken McKinstry. Followed by Hugh O'Brien in a superb 4th place. Frank O'Mahony now 3rd. Followed by Joe McHale in 5th place. Mel Stewart in 6th. Theo Bengry now up to an excellent 7th. Followed by Bertie Law and Alan Fraser. Richie Heeley still going well. And Bob Fowden, no doubt cursing the luck that gave him a slow puncture which put him over the ditch earlier in the day. Ken McKinstry staying pretty close to Heeley and putting the pressure on the Dublin man. But the real fight was that Frank O'Mahony was having a real go at McKinstry, and they were virtually tied at this point of the rally. Mel Stewart now, always enjoying himself at West Cork. And another visitor who always enjoys himself and is always welcome, John Price. He is followed by Dougie Hoare. How about this? This man, John McCarthy, he was seated at number 153. He fought his way through to 30th position on Saturday night. It's his first time out in the new car and his first event. Pat Kenny now with the Homestead sponsored Sunbeam, going well. He's followed by Bernard O'Brien. And poor Sean Hurley. I wonder will it polish out? With the rally well into Sunday afternoon, it is Richie Heeley with his co-driver Vincent Mead from Cork leading the rally in the escort. But what a dice in second place, because Ken McKinstry and Kevin Doyle with their escort are on the same time as Frank O'Mahony and Brian Curtin in the Chevette. They're sharing second place, so fourth it's Hugh O'Brien and Flint McCullough with the escort. Fifth place, Joe McHale and Brian Murphy in the Chevette. In sixth position, Welsh visitors Mal Stewart and Ken Rees with the Sunbeam. Seventh, Theo Bengry and P. Watkins with the Ascona, and they're followed by Martin Freestone and John Gittins in the escort. And then the dice between the two Renault 5 turbos. In ninth position, Mark Lovell and Peter Davies, and John Price and Derek Davies. So really settling down to an interesting climax to the Zanussi West Cork Rally for 1984. Famous ring stage always causes plenty of excitement. Bob Fowden has just gone through, followed by Heeley. The hard-charging Ken McKinstry. And Frank O'Mahony wondering, is he going to have to be satisfied with third place? Hugh O'Brien now, and what a performance by the O'Mahony band. Joe McHale, Austin's elder brother, putting up a very good show. Mal Stewart now. Alan Fraser really chucking round the little Sunbeam. And another man enjoying himself, Cyril Bolton. Jack Lyons, always good to watch. Sean Delaney now going through, followed by Pat Canny. And working his way up into 20th place, John McCarthy.
Richie Heeley, you have a minute lead at the moment. Do you foresee any problems?
No, I still don't feel a minute is quite enough at the moment.
And no car problems whatsoever?
Just a slight oil leak and the mechanics are working on it at the moment, but I can see no problem as such.
Okay, Richie, we'll be looking out for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Frank O'Mahony, you're tying for second place with Kenny McKinstry. How do you see that duel going?
Well, Kenny McKinstry seems to be going terribly quick at the moment, so we'll try and go as quick as we can and try and stay with him. That's all we can do. We dropped at that time in one stage all right with a spin, but other than that, the pace seems to be getting very, very quick this morning, and we're just doing the best we can. That's all.
Yeah, but outside that spin, are you matching Kenny's times on the stages?
I would say so. I think we took 3 seconds off him on the last stage. We dropped 5 to him on the one before it with the spin. So I'd say maybe if we had a clean run, I'd say we would probably, yes. We'd be doing the best we can anyway.
Okay, thanks, Frank.
Right.
Bob Fowden, spectacular moments in the first stage this morning. What happened?
We were coming up this straight. It was very, very fast, and it was a long, long left-hander, and I think we must have had a slow puncture or something. We came over this brow very, very fast. The steering went very, very light, and we spun at a very fast speed. I thought we were going to get out of it, you know. We didn't touch anything. We spun around twice and went backwards through a bank. I thought we were going to make it, you know, but we lost about 10 minutes there, you know. It's knocked us down to about 23rd, 24th, something like that now.
Theo Bengry had been setting a cracking pace, but the back axle on the Ascona let go, and he retired while in 7th position. The top 10 at the end of stage 18, Richie Heeley in the escort leading from Ken McKinstry, followed by Franco Mahony, Joe McHale, Hugh O'Brien, Bertie Law, Mal Stewart, John Price, Martin Freestone and Mark Lovell. These ladies gave up their afternoon tea to come out and join the fun. As we come towards the end of the rally, Cork Video Services would like to thank the Cork Motor Club, the clerk of the course, Michael Bones O'Connor, and the rally sponsors, Ashmark Limited. The class winners were Class 1, E. McMullen, Class 2, G. Leach, Class 3, P. Canards, Class 4, S. Burke, Class 5, Mal Stewart and Ken Rees, Class 6, R. Beechcroft, Class 7, H. Thompson, and Class 8, Mark Lovell. Declan Croke's Escort, reshaped by Trigumna, was out just for the Sunday run. Mick Campbell from Clonakilty going well. And he's followed by Bernard O'Brien. Timmy McCarthy now. And John McCarthy finishing a brilliant 20th from his 137th seed. Sean Delaney now, and he in turn is followed by Pat Canning. So at the end of the 2 days rallying, Cyril Bolton and Derek Irvine were in 10th position. In 9th, Alan Fraser and James Leckie with the Lotus Sunbeam. In 8th place, Mark Lovell and Peter Davis with the Renault 5 Turbo. While in 7th place, more visitors, Martin Freestone and John Gittins with their Escort RS. Bertie Law from the north of Ireland with George Miller finished in 6th position. 5th from Wales, Mal Stewart and Ken Rees with their Lotus Sunbeam. 4th place, Joe McHale and Brian Murphy having a great time with the Chevette. Frank O'Mahony and Brian Curtin brought the Colster-sponsored Chevette into a very worthy 3rd place after various problems all the way through. Better than last year when they finished 4th, so 1 place better for 1984 on the Zanussi West Cork Rally, and I'd say that Frank and Brian were very pleased with that. Ken McKinstry and Kevin Doyle from the north of Ireland have really been setting Irish rallying on fire for the last year, and what a superb 2nd place it was for them. Really trying very hard and really putting on the pressure all the way through the event, so much so that they could almost have worried the man who won the rally. And that man is Richie Heeley. Richie Heeley with Vincent Meade as his co-driver, having his best ever result. A man who won the Irish Motor Racing Championship on 3 occasions, was also a very top Group 1 driver in rallying and a very popular winner.
I must shake it on.